What's going on, guys? No Fly Zone here with another video, and today I'm going to be doing my Steven Rose Week 7 picks here with 44 the Legendary and Mr. Steven Rose himself. I first want to ask, how are you two doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good, man. Like I said, I had to get out the gym so I can get some better Wi-Fi in my car.
Hey, just be like Beltway, sit outside the McDonald's and get the Wi-Fi there, free Wi-Fi. Anyway, first game on the schedule. We have the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs, who have lost two straight, against the Broncos, who have won two straight. Noah, I'm going to throw this one out to you first. Who do you got?
I got the Denver Broncos, and here's why. I feel everybody expects Kansas City to bounce back in this game. I think nobody's giving Denver Ice Cube's chance in hell, and I just sense that. I still think Kansas City is a good team. I think they will eventually get it together. But I think as of right now, they're going to go on a little bit of a little slide here. I think, they lose two at home. I think it's only fitting that they end this little losing streak with a loss on the road. Because as tough as they are to beat at Arrowhead, it just wouldn't make sense for Kansas City to have only two losses, both coming at home. I feel like this sounds really weird. I just feel like the Broncos they're gonna get them. I just feel like they're gonna beat them.
All right, you got the Broncos. I'll tell you what, I got the Chiefs. I can't see them losing three in a row. They play really well in division games, and let's be honest here. They beat two really solid, or they lost, to two really solid teams, the Colts and the Texans, at home, nonetheless. But still two very solid teams. The Broncos, yeah, they've won the past 2 weeks, but they beat the Chargers and the Titans, two teams that just don't look really good at all this year. I got Kansas City bouncing back. Mahomes is an absolute beast. By the way, this was actually Patrick Mahomes' first win as a starter in Mile High. And he is 2-0 there. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Chiefs. Who you got, Steven?
That was a tough one as well. I went back and forth. It's probably one of the toughest Thursday games I had to pick. But I'm going with Denver, and the reason why is because I think with the two-game winning streak and the fact it's a division game and both teams know each other well, Kansas City's going to Mile High, and I just think that with that crowd and that atmosphere and the momentum of the Chiefs losing two in a row, I think Mahomes has kind of gotten exposed, if anything, and defense is now able to read his offense and can rush four guys and put pressure on the quarterback, force him to make bad throws, force him to come out of the pocket where he's not been so well this year. And I think if Denver follows that same strategy that Texans and Colts, I don't see why the Broncos can't win this game. And, in fact, I got them to win.
They haven't – go ahead.
I'm sorry. Ernie Schefter, go do a live stream, fool. Nobody's worried about you.
Nah, Ernie Schefter, that's my boy right there. Even though he's a fucking Giants and Yankees fan, I got nothing for love for that guy. But I was just about to say, the Broncos haven't given up any offensive points, which is really impressive the past 2 weeks. But they're facing one of the best quarterbacks in the game right now in Patrick Mahomes. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs. But you two have the Broncos. Next game, I think we will all have the same team. 49ers at Redskins. I'm just going to go ahead and say the 49ers. Their defense looks great. Jimmy G's doing enough. That running game's all right. George Kittle's an absolute beast. 49ers. Redskins are terrible. 44, who you got?
49ers. Enough said.
I'm not even going to go into it. 49ers.
All right, 49ers sweep. Next game, we have the Cardinals at the Giants in a really interesting matchup between, at least in my eyes, an interesting matchup between two rookie quarterbacks. I believe Saquon Barkley is going to be back in this game. Honestly, if this is the 1 o'clock game that's on in my area, which I think it probably will be since I live relatively close to the Meadowlands, I'm actually really going to be excited to watch this game because I really like Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray. I'm going to take the Giants simply because they're at home. It's going to be a West Coast, well, not quite West Coast, but like a West team going out East, which is always tough. And Saquon Barkley is going to be back. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Giants in this game.
I'm
Steven,
also
who you
going to go
got?
with the New York Giants. Oh, my bad.
Go ahead and
Oh,
let
it's
know
fine.
when you're talking.
All right.
I was going to say I'm also going to go with the New York Giants. I feel like that NFC East all of a sudden is opening a little lane for the Giants right now, as of right now. Considering what Jake's team and Dallas, especially Dallas, losing 3 in a row. Wow.
Yeah.
The Giants got to be licking their lips right now, really looking at an opportunity to say, hey, let's just stay in this thing. Let's win these games we're supposed to win and see what happens. And I feel they have been getting better, especially on the defensive side of the ball the last couple of weeks. The way they handled New England, and they played really good defense in that game. I don't care what anybody says. They played excellent defense. That offense couldn't do anything. I mean, whenever your offense isn't doing shit, you can only do so fucking much. They had them at 14 apiece. It was 21-14 at the half, but it was 21-14 midway through the fourth quarter until they fumbled the damn ball, and the game was practically over after that. I think the Giants, especially getting Saquon back, as Jake said, I'm not sure if they're going to be getting Shepard or Ingram back, or even if they're still hurt, however long they have to go. But if they're getting Barkley back, give me the New York Giants. I got the Giants winning this one.
All right, who you got?
Okay, so Barkley's coming back, but we don't know if Leo Shepard or none of them is coming back, right?
No.
Oh, okay, so they're still going to be down receivers despite having a running back, and Alex, that's going to hurt. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Arizona Cardinals to win. I like the way Kyler Murray's been playing. If he can get Larry Fitzgerald involved and get him more, induced into the offensive role this week, and the fact that Kyler Murray's kind of got a little magic dust to him, he's won 2 in a row. Arguably should have won the first game against the Lions, in my opinion. I think despite the fact that they're 2-3-1, I think that's their record, right?
Yeah, 2-3-1.
Okay, despite the fact they're 2-3-1, they're playing as if they already got a winning record. So I'm going to go off of that momentum, and my gut's telling me to go with Arizona. So I'll pick the Cardinals to win in some lopsided 26-23 game.
I like it. I like that pick. But Giants fan in the comment, Ernie, he said that Ingram is also back, so that'll definitely help. He has that tight end. I mean, that security blanket. But Noah and I both have the Giants. Stephen Rose has the Arizona Cardinals, so that is 2 out of the first 3 games have not been sweeps. So I kind of like that. I kind of like the little, mixing it up a little bit because the last few live streams it's been, kind of the same picks. Next up, another game that I do not think we will all agree on. We have Stephen Rose's Houston Texans heading out to Indianapolis to play the Colts. I'm going to throw this one out to Noah. I'll let Stephen give his final thoughts on this. Noah, who you got?
Let me first and foremost ask, isn't that the Ernie Schefter? Isn't Ernie Schefter the one that fucking Dashy thinks is Chad Barrows?
I have no fucking idea, but sure.
Okay. Anyway, all right. Back on track. This Indy-Houston game is really fucking big for both teams. I think Houston is – I really think Houston's a good fucking team. I really do. I thought Houston was going to be third or fourth. I didn't – not fourth. Second or third, okay? Let me put it like that. I think the Titans – I predicted the Titans to go 4-12 before the year started. I don't think the Titans are good at all.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
But the Texans look like a very good fucking football team, man. They could have had us early in the year. They probably should have had us early in the year.
I would like to say that I think that was the game of the year so far. Week 1, Texans and Saints.
Hands down, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got the final drive on camera. That was awesome.
You picked the greatest game to go to, dude.
But anyway, I'm never gonna forget it. Okay, so Anyway, I think it's going to be a great. It can go either fucking way. This game, okay. Let me put that out there. This can go either way. If the Texans do win, though, that is fucking huge for them because they have sole possession of the AFC South if they win. They will, like, you guys are looking at I mean, it's too early to talk about a 1 or 2 seed, but you are technically the number 2 seed as it stands right now. And of course, you want to do what you didn't do last year and finish that deal up and get the number 2 seed. You've never had a bye in your franchise history. I think this is a huge game for the Texans. I got to give the home team the edge, man. I'm going with Indianapolis. I think it's going to be a close game. If the Texans do win, which I can see them winning, don't get me wrong, the Texans have sole possession of this fucking division. But I'm going to go with the Colts. That's my pick.
I'll go next. So 3 out of the first 4 games, we all have at least one disagreement. I'm going with the Texans in this game. Deshaun Watson, I love Deshaun Watson. I think the 3 best young quarterbacks in the game are Mahomes number 1, and then I'm saying Wentz and Watson are like you can make arguments for why one is better than the other. I think both are fantastic young quarterbacks. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins hasn't been having that big a year so far, and they're still 4-2. They just went into Kansas City and win. They went into LA and won against a pretty good roster. They were this close to beating the Saints. It's just Drew Brees is like, hey, I'm Drew Brees. I can do what the fuck I want, and rip the win right away from the Texans. This Texans team is really freaking good. I'm taking them to win, not just because Steven Rose is here, but just because I really think that they are a really good football team. I'll let you finish this one off since it's your favorite team.
All right. Well, first of all, last year when we faced the Colts and it was Andrew Luck's would-be final game, I guess, and I think he'll come back in a year or so. That's just my prediction. Yeah. But they went for it on their own 43 in overtime. And what should have ended in a tie essentially gave us the win, and then we ended up going like an 8 or 9 game winning streak. I like Jacoby Brissett. I think he's a next franchise quarterback, and I'm going to actually upload my hate week tomorrow because I already did it earlier, and I acknowledge that Jacoby Brissett is a franchise quarterback, and he's pretty good. I like T.Y. Hilton. He's torched us for over 200 yards in the last 5 games alone, including the playoff loss. He's had 200 yards, and he's averaging 2 touchdowns a game in that 5-game span. So if we could shut down T.Y. Hilton, I don't see why not. We can't win this game, but they got a good running back by the name of Marlon Mack, who's also pretty good. They got Aaron Ebron that they have from Detroit at tight end, who's pretty good. And they got Justin Houston from Kansas City. So they got a lot of talent on the team, and they're an under-the-radar kind of team. They're the type of team that'll beat a team that they're not supposed to and lose to a team they're not supposed to. They kind of remind me of that, And I think this is going to be a very good divisional game. I think the Texans are going to come in with some firepower, but I'm going to be a realist in this. I think that it'll be a close game, but I see the Colts capitalizing on their mistakes, considering that they are also having a bye. They came off a bye, and I think that the momentum will be in their hands, and I think they'll edge us in this game. I got the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah. I didn't expect that. I actually really thought you were going to pick the Texans, but I really like that you were unbiased. You two both had the Colts. I had the Texans, and I really want to touch upon this. T.Y. Hilton is the most underrated wide receiver in the game. He's had 4 seasons of 1,200 yards. That's ridiculous. And no one talks about how good he is.
No,
even without Andrew Luck. I mean, he's just fantastic. Again, I can see this going either way. 2 really good teams, 2 teams that I could see making the playoffs. Even, one of these teams is going to make the playoffs, obviously. Yeah. Frank Reich is a great coach. I love Frank Reich. I wish he would have stayed here in Philly. But fucking Josh McDaniels had to be a dickhead. But I can see this going either way. But, yeah. Next up, we have the Raiders at the Packers, a very sneaky good game up at Lambeau. Josh Jacobs is having a really good year, and the Raiders are actually playing some really solid ball. Derek Carr's not playing too bad. They beat a team like Indianapolis that we all really like. However, this Green Bay defense is very good, and they have won 7 straight games against the Raiders. So I'm going to pick the Packers in this game. Aaron Rodgers just keeps continuing to do it, no matter who's on the field. So I got the Packers. Steven, who you got?
I got the. You picked the Packers, you said?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm going to concur with your assessment, but it's not for the same reason you're picking them. I'm picking the Packers solely because they have the 12th man, not their fans, but the referees. The game against Detroit has been atrocious. They've been cheating before. They have been caught cheating before, like the Seattle Seahawks. If we're quick to throw the Patriots under the bus for cheating, we have to call other teams out who do it as well. And the Green Bay Packers with the Des Bryant catch, we can go back to the Detroit game where Aaron Rodgers threw the long bomb that ended up winning.
Hail Mary.
Yeah, but before that, they called a bogus face mask penalty. That should never happen. So, and then they screwed Detroit again in that final drive. And then they had 13 men on the field, and no flag was called. How does that happen? So, with that being, and that's a reviewable play. They did not only not call anything, but did not review it, which I don't know, man. Sometimes it seems like some of these games are kind of rigged. But I'm not going to go on the conspiracy theory. But if the referees are helping them, I can guarantee you that 12th man's going to come through. So I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers and the referees to win this game.
Yeah, no, the Lions absolutely got screwed last week. And, even the Eagles game against the Lions with the guy's helmet getting ripped off. And, I usually don't bitch about ref calls, but those were atrocious. And the one catch fumble by Aguilar was a drop. Anyway, I'll throw this one out to Noah. Do you all agree with what Steven and I have picked? Or do you have the Oakland Raiders upsetting the Green Bay Packers?
And the refs.
Well, let me put it like this: as someone who is a victim of getting cheated out of a big game by the officials, this worries me because Green Bay is 5-1, and we have the same record as them. So if we both go to the playoffs, there's a chance we're going to play in the playoffs, whether it be home or away. I'm afraid that we're gonna get fucked over when we play the Packers. That's how I feel. That's what I'm afraid of. Ever since this fucking Hail Mary Seattle Seahawks Packers shit has happened, the refs have I noticed that, Stephen Rose. The refs have really been fucking at times kissing their ass.
Dude, go watch the Seahawks Browns game. I actually went back and watched that entire game. I got invited onto a Browns podcast, and I actually gave them an official apology because Seahawks fans won't do it. They will never fucking apologize. So I actually had to apologize on their behalf. And I said, I'm sorry, they cheated. The Eric Metcalf catch did not count. 2 guys were in false start before that play was snapped. The bogus horse collar that was called on the Browns, but 4 horse collars on us, and the Chiefs game was not called on Carlos Hyde 3 times alone, dragging his shirt, pulling him down. Refs didn't call it, so they pick and choose who and when to call it against. So Seattle should have 2 losses, and the Packers should have 2 losses right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and Brandon Rodgers, Golden Tate did not catch that ball. That was totally intercepted back in 2012.
That was intercepted. That was
absolutely intercepted.
Brandon Rodgers, you were too young to know what a catch was back then. No offense, brother.
Hey, man, we love you, bro.
Man. I fucks with you, man. But you were like 8 years old when that happened, bro.
He's not wrong. But anyways, who do you got? Packers or Raiders?
Packers.
All right. So we all got a sweep.
We all know. One more thing to Noah. You do realize that these wins are giving the Packers and the Seahawks' event can essentially screw you over in terms of a second seed, right?
I know. I checked the standings, and that's exactly what I thought. I saw Green Bay had the second seed as we speak. The Seahawks are a wild card as of right now until San Francisco fucks up. But Green Bay being the number 2 seed right now pisses me off. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
yeah. Okay, but you do realize if it comes down to seeding, and remember these games, and remember in the future, if we find more games down the line where they do this too, people say, "Oh, it's not a big deal," but wait till the playoff starts and the numbers add up, and you're sitting there at number 5 because of it, and you got to go on the road all your games and win while they're sitting at home on a bye. Then that's going to piss you off. And I'm going to end it.
You know who the 12th man didn't beat? I'm so happy we won that game. I'm so surprised we did not get screwed that game. But anyways, let's move on. We all have the Packers, only our second sweep out of the first 5 games. Next up, a game that I also believe we will not have a sweep on. We have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions getting absolutely screwed over Monday night. And the Vikings, beating up on a pretty bad secondary. Not to name that team, but I'll throw this one out to Stephen Rose first.
What game is this?
Oh, Vikings-Lions in Detroit.
Okay. The Lions.
Pac-Man, Jake, I appreciate that.
Wait.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was reading the comments.
The Lions were victims of that previous game. I think this mentally fucked their entire season. I think that's a mental mind fuck. To know no matter how good you play, at the end of the day, the refs dictate the game. But I'm not going to take credit away from Minnesota or discredit them because they got an awesome defense. They got an awesome offense. And I don't think Cousins is the real deal, but I think with that defense is good enough for him to win this game against a Detroit team who always finds a way to choke at the end. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Minnesota Vikings to win this game.
All right. Oh, who you got?
Them poor fucking Detroit Lions, man. I can count at least 10 fucking games where the refs have poured that poor team, have fucking screwed that poor team over, man.
They would have gotten their first fucking win in the playoffs in like 20 plus fucking years. But no, they just had to get the Cowboys game. And I totally, that was totally rigged. Which would you have rather seen? The Panthers go up to Green Bay and have the Lions go to Seattle that year? Would you rather have Dallas go to Green Bay and have the Panthers go to Seattle that year? Just saying. But anyway,
honestly,
who you
man,
got?
I'm keeping it real. I think the way the games that year planned out, the way they ended up, I think that was the best divisional matchups you could have possibly had. I think if Seattle would have went to Detroit would have went to Seattle, they would have got blown out. I think Carolina goes to Green Bay, they get blown out. Dallas put up a good game against Green Bay.
That was a hell of a game.
I guess that's what they wanted, but we're not going to get all into that.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Minnesota Vikings because of what Stephen Rose said. I think that was a very deflating, emotional downer for the Detroit Lions to feel like they have no control, man. That really makes a team feel like they have no fucking control.
Yeah.
Because that worry, that thought is in your mind, like, when are they going to fuck over us? When are they going to fuck over us? Make a big catch. Oh shit, where's the flag at? Are they calling this flag on us? Like, it's a mental thing. You're paranoid constantly as a team because you feel like they're looking to fuck over you.
Yeah.
So as for the Detroit Lions, I think they got a better team than they've had in a long time. I really think they should be 5-0 right now. If I'm keeping it fucking real, they should be fucking 5-0. You shouldn't blow.
I'd say 3-2 because I think Arizona deserved that Week 1 game, and I think that Kansas City really did deserve that Week 4 game, but they really got screwed last night. I'd say they deserve to be 3-2 right now, the way they've played. But
they had a 10-plus point lead in all fucking 3 of those games. When you have a 10-plus point lead, there is no fucking excuse to lose a game. They should be 5-0. But that's the difference between a good team and a mediocre team.
As for me, neither one of these fan bases can say that I'm salty because either way, like, I'm gonna pick a team that, beat my team. I'm going to go with Detroit here. I think that Detroit has, unlike us, a pretty damn good secondary. Maybe not one of the best in the league, but a pretty good secondary. I think that they're going to be pissed off after that Monday night loss, and I think they're going to take it out on the Vikings, who to start the year have really struggled in divisional games. They're 0-2 against their division and 4-0 against everyone else. I'm going to take the Lions here. Matthew Stafford's not playing too bad. I really like T.J. Hawkinson. Galladay's a nice receiver. What's his name? Jones is a good receiver. Johnson's a solid back. I like this Lions team. They came into Philly, and although there were a lot of bad calls, they really they came into our house and honestly kind of dominated the game a little bit. Even though they almost handed it to us, I'm gonna go with the Lions here, and that'll actually be another game where we all disagree on. You two got the Vikings. I'm going with old Detroit here. Next up, a game that, who really cares? Next up, we have the Jaguars at the Bengals. I'm just going to go with the Jaguars just because the Bengals are horrific. The Jaguars are 1-4 in their last 5 games against the Bengals, but I think we're all probably here going to agree that the Jaguars are going to beat the Bengals. Steven Rose, who you got?
I got the Cincinnati Bengals in an upset victory.
Ooh.
I think after they traded Jalen Ramsey, I think they've lost control of their locker room. They're 2-4 at this point. I know how the Jagtards are around this time when they start losing games. This isn't like the year when they went to the playoffs and they went like 12-4 that year, 11-5, and they made like a pretty good run. This is a down year right here for them at 2-4, and they could be very well 1-5 at this point, or even 0-6. Pinning the games they won. I think Gardner Minshew is a pretty good rookie quarterback, but I think that he's a little overhyped. I don't think he's as good as they say he is. I think with Andy Dalton going to Katy High School, which is 20 minutes down the road for me, I think the Bengals are due for a win eventually. And I think that if you look at Jaguars and Bengals, they're very similar. They're both struggling this year. And with the Bengals at home, I figure they got to stop the bleeding soon. So why not resuscitate them, give them some kind of life? I'll go with the Bengals to win this game. Some weird score at the end, 16-13.
44. Are you going to make Dashy happy and pick the Bengals so he doesn't rage on you? Or do you have the Jacksonville Jaguars going into Cincinnati and coming out with a win?
I'll put it like this. I can see either thing happening. By the way, shouts out to Pat. What's up, Pat? And Tom,
yeah, Pat.
Mosh,
he's a great dude.
Eric. What's up, y'all?
Who's Pat? Is he a Pats fan?
No, Pat is a Cowboys fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name is Pat.
Oh, I thought that was short for Patriots.
Oh, no.
But as I was saying, I can see this game going either way. If Cincinnati won, it would absolutely not shock me one bit. Although I'm gonna use logic here. The Jaguars defense did play fairly well without Jalen Ramsey last week. Although it was against Teddy Bridgewater. I get that. That offense, I don't know what the fuck. That offense got some problems. But I think Jacksonville is still in the mindset that they want to save their season and keep their season alive. Even if they're not going to win the division, they want to stay competitive within the season, stay alive, week to week. They want to get to 3-4 in order to say, hey, we're not out of it. Cincinnati, on the other hand, has nothing to fucking play for. If I'm the Bengals, I'm trying to lose games because I know I'm bad. They have I don't even know why Dashy gets up for every fucking game because it don't matter
They're
if they win or
trash.
lose.
They are bad.
Okay, if they win, they're 1-6. That the fuck? You still got a long ass way to go. Like I got.
You're literally gonna have to win out.
I think
You're literally
Jacksonville
gonna
wins.
have to
Although I could see it. I could see Cincinnati pulling one out their ass just to say that they want to get a fucking win and lose the rest of them. But I don't think Jacksonville can afford to let this one get away from them.
I said last week that Redskins and Dolphins was going to be the worst game I've ever seen in my life. And then I realized that the Bengals are going down to Miami to play a game. Oh, my God. There's just so many horrific teams in the league now. Yeah, we both got the Jags, 44 and I, and then Steven Rose has the Bengals. All right, next up, speaking of those great Miami Dolphins, they're going up to Buffalo to play the Bills. Let's not waste any time here. I got Bills. Steven Rose, who you got?
Buffalo.
44. You got
Buffalo
the Bills
Wild
like
Wings.
us?
Buffalo Wild Wings, baby.
A Bills sweep
I
we
think
have.
the Bills being 5-1 looks really pretty on them. I'm not gonna lie. That if they are to get the 5-1, there, man, good job to the Bills. Shouts out to them. They could be
Shout out to
fucking going
Fox
for 6 and
87,
0.
my guy.
Fox 87, man, he's got to be proud of this team.
And then after that, they have to face us, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Next up, kind of interesting game. The last 1 o'clock game, we have the Los Angeles Rams, who have lost 3 straight, like the Dallas Cowboys, heading to Atlanta, who have lost 4 straight and only have 1 win on the season. And like the other 2 teams that have beaten a certain green team from Pennsylvania, have just beaten up on their secondary. I'll go first here. I'll be honest. I can't see the Falcons being a 1-6 bad team. I think the Rams are going to have a huge Super Bowl hangover. I think they're in the middle of it right now, honestly. I think Jared Goff is overrated. He didn't even reach 100 passing yards last week. And for everyone who said that Jared Goff is better than Carson Wentz, get the ever-loving fuck out of here. I'm going to go with Atlanta here. I'm not that confident in it. But they have too much talent to go to 1-6, right? Like, please tell me that I am right. Noah, who you got?
Okay, so this is about to sound kind of funny. I'm pulling for Atlanta to win this Sunday. I want Atlanta to
Look
win.
up their draft pick, I'm guessing.
Not even that. It's not even about them finishing with a good draft position. I'm not even talking about that. I just want them to stay fucking relevant up until they play us. Like, can y'all stay relevant? Like, can y'all be 3-5 going into our game, please? Like, so at least Slitta can get up and start fucking talking trash again instead of sitting here saying, "Oh, we're gonna lose and this and that." Because when Slitta is fucking deflated, you know that shit's boring. You know it's fucking boring when Slitta is deflated and giving up on his and already calling out losses. I'm going for the Falcons and because I don't like the Rams. I want to see them suffer.
Oh, and that's another team that gets sucked off by the refs. That's another team that literally the refs have some weird fascination for. I literally don't get it.
You know,
Either way, we seem to beat them. So.
You know, for the record, guys, the referee that did not call the pass interference call in the Saints game played for the Rams in the '84 season.
I know.
That explains
it. Conflict of interest. I don't know what is.
But anyway,
yeah, man, that's I am gonna take the Los Angeles Rams. I feel like, you know, I don't at me, don't ask me why. I feel like it's gonna be a shitty fucking game. I think it could be like 16-10.
Yeah.
But I just think that the Rams are desperate. Like, they are at their desperate point. They cannot afford to lose a fucking game. Like, if they have any intention to staying alive in the division. However, I can see the Falcons.
The division is not theirs whatsoever, whether they win this game or not. They need this game to even stay relevant for a wild card, which even that isn't very likely. But not to interrupt you, I just wanted to throw that in there.
All good, bro. I feel like Atlanta has a good chance to win, though, on Sunday. If Atlanta won, it would not shock me one bit. Just like the Bengals game. It would not shock me if the underdog won. But I got the Rams.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. So, no, Philly, you got the Rams as well, right?
No, I got Atlanta just because.
Oh, shit.
Are they really this bad? Like, that's my thoughts on it. I mean, and the Rams really aren't that good.
Heads for the home team, tails for the road team. Let's see what I get. Tells, I got the Rams.
All right. You just don't really give a shit about that game. I mean, I did say this was kind of an interesting game. I take it back. I really could not give a shit less about this game.
Oh, this is a fucking interesting game, dude. Like, to me at
eh,
least. Like, this is.
I don't know. But anyway, I got Atlanta. You two got the Rams, which is, I think we've only had, what, 2 sweeps out of the first 3. We've had 3 sweeps out of the first, what,
9 games.
9 games? Yeah. Anyways, next up we have 2 really struggling teams who have both lost to the Broncos in each of the past 2 weeks. The Chargers travel to Tennessee to play the Titans. I honestly don't even know who I'm going to pick. I'll throw this one out to Steven Rose.
All right. Well, I don't like the Titans hards, but I heard they announced that Ryan Tannehill's starting, so they're benching Marcus Mariota. I guess I could have saw that coming a mile away. He's had ample time to get better, and Marcus Mariota has proven that he's almost down the line of becoming a bust. I'm talking about on the, like a Jake Lochner sort of level or a Zach Meckenberger. Like he's almost at that Blaine Gabbert level. Not quite. He's still got potential, but the clock is ticking, the window's closing. And if you're the Titans hards and you got to be desperate to start Ryan Tannehill with 2 torn ACLs, one of them in a non-contact injury going out of bounds, man, that tells you right there that things are just not working out in LP Field or whatever Nissan Stadium, whatever the fuck they call it. But nonetheless, the Chargers are also known for choking. And the funny thing about the Chargers is they'll be 2-6 and all of a sudden win 4 in a row. I don't get it. This game to go back and forth. Both teams, in my opinion, are terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the coin. I got heads for the home team, tails for the road team. All right, let's see. And tails, I got the Chargers.
You know what? I kind of, after you explained the whole Marcus Mariota thing with the Titans, I don't think the Chargers are that bad. I think they're good enough to beat Tennessee, who I think is honestly a lot worse than they are. I'm going to take the Chargers in this game, but I don't really care because I think the Chargers are done too. But who knows? I mean, the Chiefs are slumping. Who knows? Maybe the Raiders will win that division. Or maybe the Broncos. Not they're streaking. Anyways, I have no fucking idea. I don't know how that division is going to end up. I'll just go with the Chiefs just because of the Chiefs. But anyways, I got the Chargers winning this one. Noah, who you got?
The Chargers are the most inconsistent team I've ever seen in the last 5 years.
You ain't kidding.
I could have totally seen them losing to the fucking Steelers a mile away. I could have totally seen that.
I was
just
not
because
surprised.
they're the fucking Chargers. I'm gonna pick them to win this game for one reason. It's not because Ryan Tannehill, because I can see Ryan Tannehill winning that fucking game. It's because I said the Titans would go 4-12. And I want that prediction to be so true, so bad, because after I put that prediction video out, I had all these little fucking Titan fans commenting under that video. I don't know where they came from. I didn't even know the Titans had fans.
Spamming you with dislikes.
Dislikes and comments, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta prove y'all wrong," and shit. I'm just like, man, I can't wait till y'all fucking go 4-12 so I can come and respond to each and every one of y'all. Man, go Chargers. I hope the Chargers win.
I was really rooting for them entering this year because it's probably going to be one of Phillip Rivers' last seasons, but they just look bad. They look really bad. A third-string quarterback. What's his name? Like David Hodges or something? I don't fucking know. Devlin Hughes or something, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah, we all got Chargers. That's actually only our 4th sweep, which is kind of a surprising one because the Chargers kind of suck. Next up, a game that we might get a sweep on but might not. The Baltimore Ravens head up to Seattle to play the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, who this year has, I believe, 14 touchdowns and 0 picks. Russell Wilson is my pick for MVP and a lot of people's pick for MVP, along with a guy like Christian McCaffrey. I think it's between those two. I think the Seahawks are kind of overrated, but then again, so are the Ravens, really. I mean, they have 2-game lead in their division simply because their division sucks. They barely beat the Cardinals. They barely beat the Bengals. But, I'm kind of high on the Cardinals. Barely beat – this Ravens team just is not that good. I'm going to take Seattle in this one. Russell Wilson is going to carry this team to yet another win to 6-1. I'm going to throw this one out to Noah.
I think the AFC North might be the worst division in football. I know, Jake. I know your division is 500.
Yeah.
But the AFC North just might be the worst division in football.
Look at the quarterbacks and just say, you got Wentz, you got Dak. Those guys are better than anyone else in the AFC North. I'd even say over Big Ben, to be honest. Dak, maybe. I'd take Wentz over Big Ben, but anyway. I got the Seahawks. I'm guessing you have the Seahawks too, the way you just talked about their division.
Yes, I think the Seahawks win this one.
All right.
The Ravens are not that fucking good, dude. Their best performance this year was at Dolphins game, and they literally put their heart and soul into that game.
And they just haven't had any energy since. All right, Are we going to make it a sweep, Stephen Rose?
All right, my gut is telling me Seattle. They got the 13th man. They got the 12th man as the refs, or the fans, and the 13th man as the referees with Seattle Seahawks jerseys on from the Cleveland Browns game. Sorry. I had to call it out. And anyways, I'm going to go to the coin to determine the tiebreaker of my thought process. And it's heads. I go with the Seattle Seahawks. It's a 4-0.
I feel like on the coin flip ones, they end up being the teams that I expected you to pick, but weirdly enough. But anyway, we all got the Seahawks. That's our 5th sweep out of 11 now. Next up, we have the New Orleans Saints heading to the Windy City to take on the Mitchell Trubisky-less Bears, which honestly I think is a pretty easy game to pick. I'm going to go with the Saints just because I think Teddy Bridgewater's playing well. I think the Saints have a great offense and a great defense. They showed that last week. And I think they go to 6-1 and get a win in the Windy City. I'll throw this one out to Stephen Rose. I'll let Noah give his final thoughts since it's his team playing in this game. Who you got?
For the record, I want to say, hands down, based on team play, I think New Orleans has the best team in the NFL.
I agree.
Because playing without the head, that's like driving a car and blindfolded. And somehow they're able to they've not crashed yet.
Yep.
And it's just weird how Drew Brees left the game and the Rams game got injured and they were 1-1. Now they're 5-1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've gone 4 wins in a row, including winning a big game in Seattle. It was one of those wins. And then they beat Dallas. These aren't just regular give me Bengals wins. These are like actual legit wins against teams at the time were hot. I mean, the Saints beat these teams other than Seattle. They've gone cold. Look at Dallas since that loss to Saints. They have not been the same. And I think if Seattle – everyone said the Saints would be lucky to win 3 or 4 games by the time Brees comes back. Now they may not even lose a game. So when Brees comes back, it was like he was never gone. And maybe that's the NFL's way or the football gods saying, hey, look, you guys got fucked last year. We got you this year. So
hey, and I'll tell you this, Noah. Our Super Bowl year, we ended up losing our quarterback for a good amount of time, and we had a tough loss week 2, and after that went on a huge win streak. I'm not saying this is going to end the exact same way, but I think that you are the best team, at least in the NFC. I'm going to throw this one out to you. I'm going to guess you have the Saints, but I'll just let you elaborate.
I'll mute myself.
First and foremost, I'm not exactly sure who's starting at quarterback I'm guessing it's Chase Daniel.
It is.
However, I've read reports that Mitchell Trubisky is back practicing. That's what I've read. But something you guys forget to point out is that Kamara did not practice. Jared Cook did not practice. Traquan Smith did not practice. That's three keys right there. And there's one other guy. I forget his name. I forgot who the last guy is, but he didn't practice either. It'll come back to me. Anyway, I think this is going to be a defensive slugfest. I think it's going to be like 16-10. The key for us to win is to play good defense and not turn the ball over. We do those two things, we win. Now, the second thing I want to say, I might rather play Mitchell Trubisky. I think I'd rather play Mitchell Trubisky than fucking Chase Daniel.
Hey, they almost made a comeback and beat the Raiders. They were down 17 in that game and almost came back to win. Yeah, no, I gotta say, I mean, that's not really a that controversial of a statement, to be honest. But anyways, I'm gonna guess you have the Saints in this game.
I do. 16-10 is my score prediction.
All right. Oh yeah,
I'll take it though.
Tribe trying to troll me. Your offense is absolute fucking garbage. You can talk all you want about my secondary. Your team will not pick it apart. You have no one to pick it apart with, whether that's your quarterback, whether that's your receivers, whether that's your running back, whether that's your... No one is going to tear through our bad secondary. No one. Anyways, we all got the Saints. So half the games we actually have sweeps. The next game, Sunday Night Football, I do not expect to be a sweep. It happens to be my team, the Philadelphia Eagles, traveling to Jerry World to take on the Cowboys. I'll go last on this one. I'll throw this one out to Steven Rose.
Okay, are there any significant injuries? Is Alshon Jeffries back?
Yeah, Alshon Jeffrey's been playing. Zach Brown just got cut. Deshaun, I'm not quite sure. They're like, he's questionable. It's probably going to be like a game day decision, probably. I think Tyron Smith is out. The right tackle is out. Bob is out. Cooper is questionable, or at least day to day. Yeah, there's a lot of injuries in this game. Peters got injured last week for the Eagles. Corey Clement is out for the Eagles. Who else? Maddox is out. Darby looks like he's maybe going to make a return. I think Jalen Mills might make a return. There's a lot of injuries on both sides. I'll let you go first, Steven.
All right. This is a tough one, so I'm doing the best of 7. I just flipped it 5 times, and it's tied at 3 between the Eagles and Cowboys. I'm on my last flip. Okay. Heads for the home team, tails for the road team. Flip it one more time. All right, and it is Cowboys. I got Dallas to win at home. And
Noah?
I'm going to say why I pick them anyway.
All right.
They're at home. Both teams really desperately need this win. I think the Eagles got enough firepower to win in Dallas. And, of course, it's a division game. There's a lot of history behind these two teams. And I know you guys hate each other's guts. But
absolutely.
Whenever I get confused on a home game, on two teams, I usually go with the home team anyway. And I flipped the coin 7 times, and it was 4-3 in favor of Dallas. So I'm going to go with the coin flip, and I'll go with the Cowboys to win this game. Final score, somewhere around 33 to – no, I don't want to say that's cheesy. 34-31 in overtime. Dallas wins.
Another overtime loss for Dallas for us, huh? All right, no, I'm going to throw this one out to you, bud.
Okay, this is probably the toughest game of the week to choose from. And there's so many different reasons why. First and foremost, whenever the beginning of week 4, before any of the games were even played, I thought Dallas might have been the best team in the NFC. I really did. I even told Mike Mosh. I told Mosh
I
100
was
fucking times.
I was considering it, and I hate their guts. I was like, they might be the best team in the NFC, but I want to see a little more out of them. San Francisco looks good. The Saints, I think, at that point had just come off a big win against the Seahawks, and I was like, they might be that good, but go ahead.
So obviously the Cowboys are in a much rougher position than Philadelphia right now. Philadelphia has just been all around inconsistent the first 6 weeks of the season. They haven't been partially great and partially bad. It's been win, loss, loss, win, win, loss. It's been fairly inconsistent for you guys. That's why I think this game can go either way. I feel like this can be Dallas's get right game. At any time, they can have a get right game. But for you guys can have a statement game. And it's a very important game for both of you because the loser is likely going to be tied with the New York Giants. Tough to hear, but it's the truth, man.
I don't know if I'd say likely. Honestly, I think that game could go either way. But anyway.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to give the edge to the Dallas Cowboys. I think Dallas comes back and plays a better performance than they did the last couple of weeks. And considering that I don't feel your secondary is all that great, as you mentioned, your defense has a lot of work. I feel like it's an opportunity for that offense to get right. I feel like they've been a little sluggish lately. I feel like the defense has been given up a little bit. I think Dak is going to have more opportunities. If they feed Zeke the ball like they should, I think they can have success within that. I'm going to pick Dallas in a shootout. I'm going to say it's going to be something like. I'm with Steven. I'm with Steven Rose right here, man. I think it could go to overtime. I think it could definitely go to overtime. I'm going to say 37-31 Cowboys.
Oh, and by the way, Jason Garrett is married to Jerry Jones's daughter, so he's not going to get fired ever. Never,
Wait,
ever.
Really?
Yeah, he's married to Jerry Jones's daughter, his oldest. He's banging the boss's daughter, so I doubt he's going to fire Daddy's little girl's husband. Just for the record.
Did we not just see this team lose to a winless team?
Yeah.
I mean, and I know Mosh is going to comment, oh, you lost to Joe Montana last week. No, we lost to Kirk Cousins, but we also lost to the Minnesota Vikings, who have a really good offensive arsenal and, a very average quarterback that picked us apart. And I will blame the secondary. The secondary is pretty bad. But here's the thing. Y'all got picked apart by Sam Darnold coming off of 4 weeks of mono. Deshaun Jackson and Amari Cooper are both questionable in this game, but Carson Wentz has looked better without Deshaun Jackson than Dak has without Amari Cooper. Last week he did not look all that great. I'm going with the Eagles in this game. I know I'm biased, but since 2013, they are 4-2 in Jerry World. They play well there. Oh, and Brandon Rodgers, shut the fuck up. He's not.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's a fucking retard. He's been dick riding the Vikings since the offseason.
At least he didn't say Baker Mayfield was better. Then I'd start laughing.
No, oh my God. Anyway, I got the Eagles winning this game. I think that this might be this team just possibly quitting on Jason Garrett. But then again, who knows? Jason Garrett seems to, whenever it looks like he's about to get fired, he'll start to turn it around. But I don't know. I'm going with the Eagles in this game, partly because they're my team. But I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of Dallas fans are going to disagree with this, but I honestly think we have the better quarterback in this game. But yeah, I'm going with the Eagles in this game. I know last week they were against the run. I mean, Dalvin Cook wasn't amazing. He wasn't like he was the previous 5 weeks, but I look for us to win. That's all I have to say. So another non-agreement. I got the Eagles. You fuckers got the Cowboys. In this last game, let's be real, it should be a sweep. We have the New England Patriots. I didn't even need to look at my phone. We have the New England Patriots at the New York Jets. I'm going to go with the Patriots. Steven Rose is probably going to go with the Patriots, as is 44 the Legendary, but I'll let you guys speak for yourselves.
I'll let Noah go first.
Well, there's not much to elaborate upon this game. I'm just disappointed that the last game we have to pick isn't a banger. Like, the stream's going to end right after we pick this game. So, like, if we all just said Patriots, 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 we can just turn off the fucking StreamYard right then and there.
Don't
Yeah.
even tell me you're picking the
That's
Jets.
kind of boring, man. That's just kind of boring, man.
Well, I'm going to elaborate a little bit on it, though.
Okay.
No, I'm going with the Patriots. I'm not picking the fucking Jets. I'm picking
Okay, is
the
there
Patriots.
anything you want to elaborate on the game? Anything you think you'll see different with Sam Darnold, Mr. Mono coming back?
I mean, I hope it's a closer fucking game than the first time around. That's all I can really ask for. I mean, the question shouldn't be who's going to win. It's by how many are they going to win by. Like, do y'all think it'd come down to the last possession? Because I could see it happening.
You know, for the
see it coming down.
For the record, Sam Darnold looked good out there against the Cowboys. Did you see his arm? Did you see how poisey and confident he looked in the pocket?
Yeah, he did. He looked really good.
He looked confident, man. Those passes were in between the numbers. And I'm telling you, man, I think Darnold might make this game a little bit closer than you guys may think. I think the score is going to end somewhere around New England 26. 23. The Jets 16. That's what I'm thinking, somewhere around there.
My prediction is New England 26, Jets 20.
Ooh.
I'll say New England 30, Jets 20. I think it'll be a relatively close game, but the Patriots will pull away late like they did last week. I think Sam Darnold plays well again. By the way, after that piss-poor performance against the Vikings, Monday morning I felt like shit, and then I got to see Gangrene David meet up with his franchise quarterback after a huge win, which made me feel a little bit better because, after such a great win, got to meet his favorite player. Well, he actually had already met him, but he got to see his favorite player after the game, which it was just really cool to see.
Before you end the live stream, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What is your game of the week?
My game of the week? I'm actually going to have to go through this again. Shit. Okay.
I mean, because there's some tough choices here.
There is a lot of tough choices.
And there's like 4 or 5 games easily that you can say,
bunch of division games.
Yeah. Here, let me look.
You got the Colts, Texans. You got the Vikings, Lions. You got Broncos. Well, no, I'd say I don't know. In my personal opinion, I think the game of the week is Ravens and Seahawks, and that's my pick. I'll let you guys pick who y'all think it is. We'll go with whoever wants to go next.
I mean, I'm a little biased, but I'm going to pick the Eagles and Cowboys just because that game means so much. Even though we're both like 500. Yeah, no, I agree. Mosh, we don't agree on much because you're an idiot, but yeah, definitely game of the week. Nah, man, it's all love. Mosh is my guy. He gave me a free jersey, so I can't rip him apart too bad. Only the numbers are falling off, so that's a little bad.
Exposed.
I'm playing. I can actually go pull it out real quick if you want. But yeah, you guys can go. Noah, what's your game of the week?
Honestly, man, it's out of 2 games. It's out of my Saints in Chicago, and it's out of the Eagles and Dallas. And the reason why I say Saints in Chicago is because that's such a rare game that you don't really get. And the storylines of both teams, although, yes, it's likely to have 2 backup quarterbacks going up against one another, the level of competition on each side is going to have a sense of urgency. And both defenses are going to come to play. And like I said, it's a rare game. You don't really get it every year. Like you get Cowboys, Eagles. Although, I'm going to say this. Cowboys, Eagles is a desperate game for both of y'all. Especially Dallas, man. Dallas has to – if Dallas
Especially
drops
us.
straight.
Especially us. It's especially
but hear me out, Jake. Hear me out, Jake. Hear me out.
let's hear 'em out.
Dallas is the home team. This is their time to win. They have to win, including the fact that they have lost 3 straight after starting 3-0 and have been considered one of the best teams in the NFC at the time. They go on to lose 4 straight and start 3-4? That's a fucking that shit, man. That's beyond fucking devastation for them. That team's going to be fucking traumatized. That team's going to be fucked.
Yeah. Hey,
you
but
guys, I feel you can afford a loss.
Too. No, we cannot. What do you mean we can afford a loss? We got the Bills, then the Bears, then the Patriots, then the Seahawks.
Oh, shit. Okay. I take that back. I take that back, Jake. I take it back.
They have such an easier schedule after this than we do.
Okay, Jake. Okay, I get it. It's a desperate game for both of you.
What's the Saints?
It's a desperate game for both of you. Huh?
What's the Saints got after the Bears?
Arizona. And then we got the Falcons.
Ooh.
And then I think at Tampa Bay.
Wow.
And then the Panthers.
You can have 4 winnable games the next 4. That'll put you at 9-1.
Well, we have a bye week after the Arizona game, and then Breeze is supposed to come back after the bye.
Honestly, bro, who knows? Maybe the Cardinals will come in and give you a fight. Honestly, I could see it. Kyler Murray's a good quarterback so far.
I could see it too. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit.
Anyways, yeah, those were our Week 7 picks, and fittingly, we had, being at Week 7, we had 7 disagreements and 7 sweeps. Yeah, that's our video. Forever and always, fly Eagles fly. Go Phillies. Go Flyers. And I am out. I'll let you guys do your outros then.
All right. Before you guys, we're doing another live. Well, I don't know if we're doing another live stream later on A-Bomb's channel. So if you guys are followed to A-Bomb, we're actually doing a Week 8 picks or Week 7 picks, and it's going to be me, 2 of my homegirls, and then it's going to be Andrew, Kev's point of view, and A-Bomb, and we're all going to be doing our picks. But it's not going to be probably for another hour and a half. So if y'all aren't subbed to A-Bomb,
stay up.
Yeah, sub to his channel, so we're all going to be on there doing our picks too. So
yeah, we've been in his live streams before, so we're subbed to him. But yep.
Yeah, put his link at the bottom in case those guys aren't, if they want to watch it. Yeah, but my homegirls are also part of the tournament too, so they're going to be doing their picks or whatever as well.
Anything else you got to say, Noah?
Who that, baby? Go LSU. Go Pelicans.
We're not going to beat them Cowboys. Eagles. Yeah.
Who that said they're going to beat them Cowboys? Hey, if y'all win, Jake, you know I'm gonna congratulate you. And I'm probably going to go on a
better Crow, because every time you've come on here, you've picked against us. The past 4 weeks. Okay, you didn't pick the Jets over us, but you picked the Packers, you picked the Vikings, and now you picked the Cowboys against us.
The coin picked Dallas on this one. I just went with the coin.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not giving you hell. I'm giving Noah hell because Noah's my boy.
You're the first person I'm gonna congratulate, Jake. You already know. I'll say it in my video.
I know.
I'll make a video too.
I know. Anyways, I'm out. We're out.
Peace. Right. Thanks for having me on.
Peace.
Yeah, no problem.